Welcome to Millennial Monday. We're your hosts, Jaimee and Sidney. Higher education is becoming more and more of an expectation for 20-somethings these days, and we want to talk to you about what that means for researchers.
For the first time ever, 59% of 18 to 34-year-olds have attended college, which actually makes us the most educated generation in the history of the world, pretty much, which is awesome. But, of course, we couldn't have done it without the encouragement and push along from previous generations, especially Boomer and Gen X parents who, in the sorts, made higher education a requirement for millennials.
So, with this influx of education and knowledge, all of the problems are solved, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not so much.
No.
Recent college graduates have encountered lots of issues with economics and also with unemployment, which we could talk about for quite a while, especially since millennials are now perceived as lazy and unemployable because of these problems.
But in this episode, what we really want to talk about is how this applies to research. And it's good to note that millennials actually interact with research a lot like they interact and view their education and learning.
So Dr. Diana Oblinger said that millennials expect to be engaged in their learning. They do not do well being passive learners. If you do not have technology that will be part of their learning, they will go somewhere else where they can be engaged with and interact with technology. Millennials perceive a sharp contrast between their comfort level of technology and the technology comfort level of their teachers. We can replace teachers here with researchers. Researchers that are comfortable with technology like social media or mobile research or all those up-and-coming technological breakthroughs in research can really show to the millennials that they choose to reach out to.
Knowing what you're doing with technology is actually really noticeable to millennials because it's expected for both online and in-person studies that you're going to know what you're doing with technology. If a moderator or a survey writer is comfortable with technology, it actually makes millennials feel more equal with them, and then they will actually engage deeper.
You can also expect millennials to be more engaged with qualitative studies, especially when these projects teach them something new or expand their perspective on something. Millennials really know how to learn, especially online and in person.
And as we've seen with all other respondents, the higher the education, the better the articulation of their thoughts and opinions. And we see that they're actually more open-minded to new concepts and ideas.
At the cost of this greater response, you have to be willing to be more interactive, more engaging, and willing to go deeper into ideas in order just to hold on to those respondents.
There is a fine line between what a millennial finds interesting, and so they really want to talk about it more, and finding something boring and being done with a topic. As a researcher, try writing questions that perhaps you don't even have a hypothesis to. Those are the type of questions that millennials actually are really attracted to because it requires critical thinking, which they've been trained to do in all of their higher education.
Yeah, and becoming more comfortable with technology and not being afraid to ask those questions that will get your respondents thinking critically may even help save the world.
Thanks for watching Millennial Monday.
It's brought to you by Triple Scoop Premium Market Research with a new episode every week.
Check out our new website specifically for Millennial Monday, which you can find on our channel page.
Next week, we will be continuing our conversation on hipsters.
See ya then.